key for me was movement.
Made him nervous, even though he didn't show it. Guys, you are looking at the Conor McGregor of arm wrestling, except Conor McGregor couldn't beat the Russian. He couldn't beat Khabib, but obviously Devin just beat Denis Saplenkov, which was a huge win in dominant fashion. And this is what Devin had to say after the match. Let's take a look.
I feel fantastic. Yeah, it's a very meaningful match for me. It's I have Denis Saplenkov right at the top of the sport. John Brzenk, Denis Saplenkov, Levon Sagnashvili. He belongs in a very short list of names.
It must feel good to get that vengeance after he got completely destroyed on the left in 2018. So this kind of just rights his wrongs a little bit there.
So for me, super meaningful.
So are you happy with your performance?
Yeah, I'm extremely happy. It went exactly the way I was hoping it would. I had a lot of concerns coming into the match about where his strength would be, what its weaknesses were, and I visualized this match for a very long time, and everything went, as good as it could have gone.
What was the key for the victory?
The key for me was movement. I kind of anticipated that his static strength would be very strong, and I thought that the best way for me to break through it would be just to work through his ranges piece by piece, and break him down in that manner, and I executed that plan.
That's exactly how I predicted it would go, where Denis was just getting in that defensive King's move, but not so offensive, and Devin would actually be the one attacking and being offensive, transitioning and slightly adjusting his position to improve it while hitting, which is exactly what he did in the first and third round. Obviously, we saw in the second round he just completely flashed him, but yeah, so I mean, went exactly according to plan.
So what's next?
Next, there's a lot of arm wrestling going on, and I have a few categories that I can dance between. There's a super heavyweight division. Looks like I'm going to be arm wrestling Georgi Svetkov in a few weeks. Super heavyweight division, there's a lot of guys.
That's crazy. Yeah, just a couple weeks. Let me go against another top 5 guy in the world real quick.
There's a rematch with...
crazy.
There's a rematch with Levon. There's Vitaly Laletin.
That's the one I really want to see, is the match with Levon. But the thing is, we'd have to wait all the way till May or June, because Levon said he wants to. He needs until May or June until he comes back after recovering from that injury.
Rivas, there's many arm wrestlers who are at a very high level. There's also the heavyweight division, the light heavyweight division, which I can go down and touch, and there's a lot of competition there.
Yeah, light heavyweight division we just saw Todd Hutchings won that, but that's West versus West, so that match may not happen at East versus West. Obviously, it's 2 guys from North America going at it, but and heavyweight, maybe someone like Matyashenko would actually be a really good match. That's a match that I would really be interested in, especially after what we saw yesterday with Matyashenko completely dominating Camille.
As well, whether it's the champions of those divisions or whether it's certain matchups that we've been talking about for a long time.
So do you think you broke Denis?
No. Denis doesn't get broken. I had a good night tonight. I mean, Denis destroyed me in 2018. Tonight was my night. I hope that Denis stays with it. I hope that this is just all still part of Denis's comeback. There's not many people who are going to beat Denis. I think that he's very sticky. And I think that he will continue to learn it's been a while for him since he's been in high-level competition. Even Denis has an aura about him that he's one of those invincible guys. And but he's got some ring rust,
He's got some ring rust, you heard from Devin, and even Denis acknowledged this in his post-match interview. I'm about to play that clip in a second.
High level. I watch him train. I'm sure he will adjust his training. The sport continues to evolve, refine itself, become more precise. And I'm sure his training will reflect the changes that have happened over the last 5 years, and he'll be back stronger and better.
Yeah, so let's take a look at what Denis said as far as what adjustments he needs to make going forward, because obviously he got pretty exposed by Devin there yesterday.
Потому что все-таки Марат выносливый, и здесь получилось, что, как говорится, я попал в эту...
He fell into his trap, says Denis.
Ловушку, можно сказать. Вроде бы стоишь, а делать в итоге ничего не смог, потому что нужно было все-таки отрабатывать атаку.
Exactly what I was thinking. Even going into this match, just watching the practice pulls with Dennis, and it seemed like he was always just in that defensive position, holding people. But because he was stronger than most of the people he was training with, but he wasn't able to do any. He didn't seem like he was doing much like attacking, offensive style arm wrestling in his training, which is exactly what he would have needed against Devin, as we saw. And he's saying right here he should have worked more on his attack.
Больше, да, там, как Хатчинсон сегодня поборолся. То есть он вроде ему там выбивает, он весь разогнутый, и все равно выигрывает. То есть не давал возможность перед середину перейти. Ну что-то такое надо делать, конечно.
Exactly what he's referring to is the center of the table is here. Dennis was in the losing side, the losing position. He wants to be either center or close to winning position, which is advantageous, 100% to be offensive and be closer to pinning.
А мы этого не делали. Будем делать. Ну, да, буду тренироваться, усиливать, то есть по-любому Энгин сказал, как бы всегда рады мне, то есть всегда можно кого-то найти. И будем, конечно, бороться. Ну, хочется, я такой человек сначала.
That's fantastic to hear that Dennis is seeming optimistic to getting back out there and having another match. Really excited to hear that. And who do you guys think would be a good match for Dennis? Leave a comment in the comment section. Who should he face after this loss?
Прибавить, потом уже что-то выдумывать. Потому что очень, как говорится, чувствуешь себя нехорошо, когда вот неуверенность есть. А она как бы в связи с тем, что Лара все-таки вот выигрывал, прям довольно-таки много выступал и выигрывал хороших спортсменов. Такая, знаешь, уверенность, она начинает.
His confidence was starting to leave him. That is crazy because if you would have looked at the face-off from the other day, you would have not suspected that Denis Saplenkov's confidence levels were lower. I mean, he just had the aura of a stone-cold assassin, but, you know, everyone's human, even the best athletes, and they're susceptible to mind games or confidence, lack of confidence, depending on the circumstance, which, as we're hearing Dennis say, that seemed to be the case for him.
Снижаться. Потому что, блин, елки-палки, я пытаюсь догнать, а он побежал еще дальше. Это мой вывод. Да и многие говорят, то, что Лара прибавил, да, там, и он говорит, то, что у него лучшая форма. Ну, никто ж не говорит, то, что он там не тренировался и выиграл, да? То есть, вот, все должны понимать это. И это, конечно,
made him nervous, even though he didn't show it.
Заставляет нервничать. Хоть я и виду не показывал, но я это все прекрасно понимаю.
So you heard it there. All of Devin's antics somehow made Dennis nervous. That combined with just the amount of big wins that Devin has been having, being so active. And like the video title says, Devin is the Conor McGregor of arm wrestling. And what I mean by that is just that what he's done for arm wrestling as far as promotion is like no one else in the sport, really, as far as growing it the past 5 years or so with social media. So we got to thank him for that, and really excited for what the future brings in the sport. What do you guys think about this whole matchup and what Dennis and Devin had to say after the match? Let me know.